What's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2023 Netflix original comedy drama film, Christmas as Usual. Hour 20 minutes long. It is so slow, and it's unfortunate because parts were funny. I actually laughed out loud during certain moments, especially when Jashan is translating the Hindi, the alphabet that the sisters has, his fiance Thea's sister-in-law, has on her arm. He's like, oh yeah, that says gory. And she's like, oh, it doesn't say inner peace. And he's like, no, that says white girl. Hysterical moment. Absolute hysterical moment. This film was so bad, though, because you felt so bad for that character. So Jashan is Indian. His fiance is Norwegian. They go back to Norway for the traditional family Christmas celebrations. First year without her dad. He has passed away the year before. And he's treated like absolute garbage the entirety of the film. And he confronts the fiance and he's like, you don't have my back in this. You know, the racist spices and this and that. And you're staring at the screen and you're like, he has a point. No one has had his back this entire time. It's a weird situation when you're rooting for... when you're not rooting for the main character. Main character of this is Thea, right? Tia. And she is just an awful human being who is not treating her fiance as he's supposed to be. This is the first time he's in Norway. First time he's meeting her family. She doesn't tell them that he's Indian. Doesn't tell him his full name. Calls him Josh the entire time, but his real name's Jashan. And it's just she's so embarrassed to tell her family that she's dating an Indian guy named Jashan, and yet she expects them to then be immediately okay with the shock when she's not been told, when she hasn't told them anything. She's assuming that everything is going to be okay when then Jashan realizes that the next door neighbor, Jorgen, is her ex of 5 years. Doesn't tell him anything. She doesn't tell him anything. She doesn't tell her family anything. The family could have easily, caught themselves up on Indian culture and things of that nature to make him feel more welcome upon then arrival, and forcing him to then eat the fried pork and things of that nature. And it was, or treating him like a horrible side individual when he makes them a special dinner. This is my culture. Thank you for sharing your culture. This is my culture. Here's some Indian food. And they make a whole big scene about that it's too spicy. I'm like, that's not how you do this. That's just disrespectful. And I felt so bad for this character. It's very rare where you want to actually reach into the screen and hug somebody and say, it's okay. You deserve better than this disgusting family. And yet, we get a year later, flash forward, and then everybody is mingled and meshed, and you have a Punjabi song singing in the background, and they're dancing around the Christmas tree. Wonderful. But that should have been his first Christmas. His first Christmas with this family should have been that welcoming experience that we see in the year later, flash forward, second Christmas with the family. The horrible racist aspect that he had to be forcibly gone through was not acceptable. His fiance did not have his back. Why he decided to stay with her is beyond me. I felt so bad for this character. And this is actually based on a true story. So I feel so bad for the individual that this was based on, if they did in fact experience all of that they were an embarrassment to the other family, that they were a secret to the other family. That's not how you live an authentic life. You are better. You are you, and you should not have to change yourself to fit in anywhere else. It's an awful experience. I've experienced it myself, having to put on a mask. It's terrible. It's disgusting. I felt so bad for this character. He deserved better. This is not a good film. Not a good moral at the end of, oh yeah, we're all happy-go-lucky a year later. No. This should have been fought over and discussed way before the first Christmas. Not a Christmas surprise for everybody. There's assimilating that has to happen. There's learning experiences on both sides that have to happen. It's not fair. It was not a fun experience watching this. I will not be watching this again. Christmas as usual. On to the next review. It's mahalo.